Who is Angine de Poitrine? This is a performance that was put on YouTube a couple of months ago, and it already has almost 8 million views. And I don't know what I'm looking at. I'm almost getting dizzy. But I saw Rick Beato, shout out to Rick Beato, put out a video because people, I guess, have been asking him to review it. Then I saw a video where someone, Charles Cornell, is talking about why our brain loves Angine de Poitrine. And I want to check this out with you and see what we might be able to pull out of it psychologically. Why did something like this go viral? Why are people mesmerized by it? Let's talk about the psychology and the philosophy behind it. Angine de Poitrine is from Quebec, a masked experimental math rock duo from Saguenay. I hope I said that name right. Quebec, known for their highly technical microtonal music and absurdist approach. Let's find out. Let me not read too much. I want to go in this blind. Now, keep in mind, for copyright reasons, I'm not going to be able to listen to the whole thing, but we're going to look at parts of it and see what we can pull from it. What is that? Is that some type of... What was that? Okay. Geometry. I'm seeing polka dots. I'm seeing rectangles. I'm seeing triangles. Is this just a symbol of their band? Angine de Poitrine? Just funny because Angine de Poitrine translates to angina pectoris, or simply angina, which is a French medical term referring to chest pain, pressure, or discomfort. I mean, I'm not laughing about the chest pain, but just what a random name that is. Angina of the chest pressure. And their band name has a triangle around them. So are they holding up this symbol as a nod to their band name? Is this just to add to the geometrical shapes that they're integrating into their performance? Or is this some type of Illuminati or gang sign? I'm confused. But the contrast, the black on white and white on black polka dots is already a lot for the eyes. And then that gold triangle in the middle. What is happening here? I think psychologically, just from the start, we can all see how whatever is unique, different, weird will get people's attentions. We are drawn to extremes, either super wonderful and loving or super shocking and scary. Anything intense will evoke a strong emotional response from us. When we're shocked by something, our amygdala will get triggered and adrenaline gets released, or we feel some type of a love and bonding and now oxytocin is kicking in, or cortisol when we're stressed, right? Humanly, scientifically speaking, the second I see something that's shocking, that evokes fear in me or shock or distress, it'll have a response. And naturally, I think most of us know this. We're going to be drawn to something like this psychologically, just for the fact that neuroscientifically speaking, it evokes a response. But is there anything beyond that here? Let's find out. What in the unicorn farts is happening here? The nose. Even his hand is painted. This is commitment. Oh, snap. No. Okay. This is crazy. a couple of things here. The fact they're barefoot is very cool because we have something here that is almost this weird optic illusion that creates this weird cognitive dissonance in our brain. What is happening? What is this? Where is the real face? Our brain is wired to look for some type of closure. That's just human of us. We want to see how a story ends. We want to see how the plot unfolds. We want to see where this is going. We want to see the man behind the mask. Our brain looking for closure. And so to have a human being that is so disguised that it makes it so difficult to put together what is up, what is down, black and white, not even really being colors scientifically, in contrast to one another, that are doing something with our mind and our eyes from the start. Now not sure who's behind that mask and still seeing them barefoot. It to me creates this duality between what is mystical, what is unreachable, and the brain that's looking for some type of answers, but the humanity of a barefoot, which reminds me of our tribal origins, the back to the basics, our humanity, our feet being a very important part of our body, much more connected to earth than we realize, much more part of our overall health than we realize. And so seeing a barefoot, even though it's painted to fit the entire mask and cover, if you will, still makes me think of this is real though. I might not know what to make of a mask and of that bobbly nose and of the fake braids and the fake goatee and the golden dollar sign eyes, but there's a foot. And I find it interesting that my brain is picking up on that, saying, hold on, but that's human. And it is in contrast to this machine puppet looking paper mache of a figure. Also, I think it is so exciting, and I think psychologically very human of us, when we have something we can't quite place, we're unsure what the heck this is, but we then hear music, the universal language that evokes a response out of all of us, the rhythm of the drums, the bass line, those low notes that often ring deep into our system that we feel on an almost molecular level. You have something that we can't quite make sense of. Now they start playing, and it's epic. And you got that bluesy, jazzy bass line. You have the drums taking off. You have the guitar riff coming in. And you have very skilled musicians here. I love that contrast of a mind that's going, I don't know what's happening here. And why is this going viral? To now saying, oh, snap, these are talented musicians. You have intrigue, curiosity, which is a sign of intelligence, our human desire to want to make sense of things, now being answered with musical talent, with something that we can feel. This is something I can now understand. I can understand this, even if I can't always find the words to express why good music makes me feel a certain way. This is familiar language. And I think that too is very human, that our brain is looking for answers, going, okay, give me something that I know, that I understand. Help me understand, even when you're in a country where you don't speak a language and now they say a word in yours, that I can latch onto. That is familiar. That I know. Are they using a loop to keep the bass line going? There's a couple of things going on here in between these catchy chord riffs that make it easy to jam out to. You have almost what sounds like distorted notes in between. That too creating this dichotomy between melodies that are easy to listen to, that make sense to our mind, and distortion that has us going, where do I place this? Between order and chaos. Same with the whole visual stimulation we're experiencing. I have a black canvas with polka dots, but on top of that, I have a white canvas with black polka dots. And it's this duality here. Everything is duality, from the double-headed instrument to the duality of the black and white on black, to the call and response between bass, guitar, and drums. And it's interesting also to me that because they're masked in a comical way, the long nose and the wobbly nose is just funny to look at. it makes me think, it forces my mind to hone in on the musical talent. There is no face that I can study. There is no cool expression or beauty that I can be distracted by. It's just the music. And there's something about having to sit with less distractions. On one hand, this is super distracting because I'm trying to make sense of all the optic illusions happening and all the comical elements. But at the same time, I'm thinking, because there's less distraction, like, say, studying the face or the colors of the outfits, on one hand, there's a lot going on here, and on the other hand, it's kind of simple. And it forces me just to listen to the music. And to maybe this is the goal of Angine Poitrine in this case, to go to assess, what am I feeling? What is the music trying to say? There's no lyrics as of now. There's no pretty or handsome face to put behind this. There is no person that I can see here that I can now make assumptions about or project my feelings onto. Nobody that may or may not remind me of someone that I used to know. It's just a masked caricature. And all I have is the music. Once I get over just the initial shock of whatever this is, I have to listen to the music and I have to try to go, what is this making me feel and what are they trying to say? Can an instrumental track sing to us? Can it carry emotional weight? Can it impact us in a way that a song with lyrics and words can? Do we need the music video and the lyrics to understand the message of the song? I would argue, no, we don't. Music is just that profound. A lot of call and response here. Okay. Just when I wasn't sure where this was going. I see human. I saw some human skin. Okay. It almost sounds chaotic. I'm going to skip through a little bit for copyright reasons. That sounds like actual polka dots. That makes me think of polka dots. If polka dots could sing. If polka dots were music. Mata Zyklik. Are those the names of their songs? Mata Zyklik is a song, but does this actually mean anything in a different language? Nope. Microtonal math rock. Heart-related medical condition is the name of their band name. Math energy. Phenomenal, because their whole black and white polka dot geometry makes me think of, and I don't know nearly enough about this topic, but of sacred geometry and of math in numbers and math in geometry and math in shapes and math in colors and in science, and very interesting. Okay. This is hype. This is actually really good. I love people. You guys are wild. Okay. Can anyone solve this mathematical equation for me? Because my brain is exploding. But the art of this, it's so artistic. Funky groove that I can get down with. Okay. Hey. Hey. do this with a straight face. I mean, maybe they're not. Maybe they're busting their faces off under these masks. Okay, I am impressed by all the math in this. We got the circles. We got that pyramid shape. We got a cylinder. We got polka dots. And we got this whole optic illusion happening here. But I'm so intrigued because the compositions are this mix between soulful, groovy, bluesy at times, and at the same time, the distorted vocalization and the almost off-sounding notes at times and the time signatures are just making my brain explode because some of it is just groovy and cool, and then some of it is just very mathematical all over the place. And it's fascinating to me because I think, on one hand, listening to something like this makes you either feel like you just got smarter because you listened to something so artistic, or you just got humbled and you feel like, I can't make sense of this. Both things, both type of responses, the kind that elevates us to feel like we were just added to, if you will, as well as the response of feeling like we don't know where to place this, are a human way of responding to things we are trying to make sense of. Our brain looking for that closure, our brain trying to make sense of this. And I think what's neat to me is that while this is not something I would listen to in my own time, I think these kinds of videos either go viral or get a lot of attention because it is also very human of us to long for something artistic, to long for something that hasn't been done before or that is just different. Even if it's not something we might want to listen to in our own time or that we don't know what to do with, art is just that. It's art. It's subjective and it evokes a response. And there's something beautiful to me about being able to expose ourselves. That's why we go around the world to talk about the philosophies and psychology, to explore music in all genres and languages, because it's beautiful to explore. It's a sign of intelligence to be curious and to try to make sense of this. But I think that it's just fun when you see people that are making music, hopefully enjoying themselves, creating something that either means something to them or that evokes a response from others. What are your thoughts when you come across something like this? Is this too far out there? Help me understand the mathematics behind all of this. What are your thoughts on the titles of their songs, the genre, the performance? What are your thoughts on masked artists to begin with? There's plenty of them in this world that have either worn some type of face paint as part of their brand or have actually used masks as part of their whole brand for their various reasons. What are your thoughts on those kinds of artists and on that kind of art? Talk to me in the comments. Make sure to subscribe and I'll see you on the next ride. Ayo!